right, thank you everybody for tuning in. We got a good show for you guys today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Tank Lawrence deal. We're going to talk about that at levels. We're going to talk too as well about the free agency. But shout out to everybody that's in the chat box. Shout out to you guys for tuning in to the show. It's always a pleasure. It's always a great thing to talk about the Cowboys. My name is Law Nations, and we're going to get this thing going one way or another. I should get about 30 minutes for you guys just talking about the moves. We got to talk about these moves. At the end of the day, I think the Cowboys got a new philosophy. For those who just tuning in, we are on Phantom Live too as well. EBSN Live, The Prospect Show, we live there too as well. And as well as, of course, Silver and Blue Nation and Big Game James page too as well. So we on every platform that you can imagine. Appreciate those guys. Don't forget to smash the like button, give thumbs up. Please comment too as well. I may not be able to answer your comment live, but I do read every comment I can find. But shout out to the first person to lay wood in the chat box before we go further. Al Mayweather, first person to lay the stone down. Man, that's what I'm talking about. And 1100 second place. You close, but no cigar. My guy Buck Bureau, third place. He says, Law, what's up, man? It's Outlaw all day, every day, baby. All right, so we're going to talk about this thing. Tank Lawrence. I call him D-Law. We know he got my name, Law. That's one hell of a name, guys. Got to admit that. But I think that the new philosophy will be that the Dallas Cowboys are not sinking all of their money into these players no more. Outside of what they did with Tyron Crawford, however you say this man's name, $40 million, Boise State. We do know that guys from Boise have the Boise State insurance, but this is the thing. Now it's for better or worse. 1 year, prove it. Let us show, like pretty much prove it. I want you to see what you can do out here year second with this 14 sack production. And if he's not able to do that, then it's what it is. I think that the Dallas Cowboys changing their philosophy, changing their ways means so much. And then on top of that, we do know for sure that they got Chris Richard in the system. We know that Chris Richard is not coaching the front four. But what I'm saying is that now it's a prove-it deal for D-Law. Because look what they did. We supposedly getting Randy Gregory back, right? And they went out and drafted a Dorrance Armstrong, who one can argue and say 6'4.5", 257 pounds, got bend, can get that low shoulder bend out there too as well, crash upfield, have the length, can play right or defense, right or left end. I mean, writing's on the wall. This is a prove it to me type of year. Shout out to team, man. Ortiz, man. Shout out to you. Boomer Sooner, shout out to you too as well. So, guys, let me know whether or not you want to pay D-Law 5 years. He's going to look for what Chandler Jones got. He got a 5-year, $82 million. So the market value for D-Law is pretty much 5 years, $90 million. And one can argue and say, well, he's not Chandler Jones. He's not on that level. He's not in that same arena. Somebody can argue that as far as results. And we do know that he had a troubled past. That's just being real with you guys. He didn't pass all of his drug tests. So we're going to see. We're waiting to see. And I think that the new philosophy is kind of taking a page. Remember, the NFL is a copycat league. So they may be taking a page out of Bill Belichick, handbook and saying, okay, we're not paying these guys just because they perform 1 year. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. Put it out there again. Now, this is the thing. This is the catch-22 with all this, right? What if D-Law gets 16 sacks, 17 sacks, 18 sacks? It's all gravy on our end, but we're going to have to reach way deep down in those pockets, and Jerry Jones going to have to come off that wallet if he get anywhere north of 14 sacks this year. One can argue and say if he get 10 or 11 sacks. So it's one of those things where as we looking at D-Law, and we're going to say to ourselves, better show up and show out. You got to stay off the field too as well. On the off the field issues, you better not have one of those, because this year prove Prove it to me. Just prove it to me. Shout out to Ian that's in the mix. Ian Good. Shout out to you. Trey Craig. Cowboys gonna let D-Law walk next year. It won't be a bad situation if Dorrance Armstrong and Randy Gregory. I remember my guy Vash Lombardi said he would kick a lot of people off the bridge just to get Randy Gregory back out there. So at $17 million right now, that note right there for a defensive edge is like second or third highest out the NFL paying wise. So either he can live comfortably, but we still looking at $65 million plus next year. A lot of cachet that we can move around and get around with. That's a lot of money. Cody Allen is in the Law Nation chat box saying, go check out the Earl's poster. Yeah, we're gonna check out Earl too as well. Now, this is another thing that I would like to bring out too. And I'm telling you guys, if we cut Tyron Crawford, that's $6.5 million that we can save. And everybody been talking about, okay, maybe he's the leader of men, he's the leader of the team, he got the most experience, and we're talking about moving in some other pieces out there because we're going to talk about free agency talk too as well. So maybe they can move that around. But the Cowboys, we do know that they love their guys. It can be crazy. Shout out to Jerry Reese for making a donation to help grow the nation, man. Appreciate it. He says in the chat box, he says, I wouldn't pay anyone who only did it for 1 year. This is what he said. So I'm going to let everybody see from the other channels too as well. I really appreciate this altogether. Jerry pointing that out. He said he wouldn't pay that. We're going to go back up. I'm going to keep his name right there. He's saying that he wouldn't pay anyone who only did this for 1 year. So everybody have reasonings, right? I always use this analogy or I guess you can say a notion of mind. Everyone have reasonings. You have a reason why you went up to work today. You have a reason why you put gas in your car, right? You have a reason why you paid the babysitter money to watch over your child. But this is what matters the most. You may have reasonings, but results are what matter. You go out and you pay the extra money for things so that you can get the results. Everyone has a reason, but results is what matters. And that is what I'm saying. Shout out to Jerry Reese, man, for that donation to help grow the nation, man. I appreciate every dollar count to help grow this thing to get better. And trust me, I could use room for improvement because there's always things to do as far as trying to elevate everything on this nation and on a whole bunch of other stuff. But neither here nor there. I really appreciate you guys. Streaming Willie Beeman, man, what's going on, man? Shout out to you. 23 years and counting. That's what he said to me, Law Nation. That's what he's saying. And shout out to Streaming Willie Beeman. Yes, it's been a long time. Far as we having our reasonings of becoming a better team far as the Dallas Cowboys. But this is the thing. Results do matter, but I'm saying right now that this is a new philosophy. It's a new groove, and I like the way that this thing is being handled now. We're not going out there saying, okay, out for 1 year, we're going to go ahead and pay this man 5 years, $90 million. For those that's in the chat box right now, that's on the YouTube page, go and put down there, would you rather have D-Law for a 5-year contract right now? Give me a thumbs up or give me a yes, a simple yes. Or would you rather just have it approve it to me year and put no? Put that in the chat box for me. Let the nation speak. You guys know more than I do. Because at the end of the day, when you paying that much money, $90 million, you got to look at it from this aspect. Who else can we put out there on the defense to help elevate this defense? Who else can get out there and help this team out when it's time to sign the other guys? We understand that, yes, we pay our offensive linemen, but collectively, I've been saying this for the last few chats and talks that we had before, is that when we pay our guys, somehow, some way, they just don't show up outside of the offensive line. So we can pay our offensive linemen. It's just the fact that when it gets down to other guys, other skill sets, like the Dez Bryant, we paid him, he disappeared. And I understand he had some situations with the quarterback play and stuff like that. And then we paid Tony Romo. What happened to Tony Romo? He folded up like a pretzel. We understood what happened to us. Well, we didn't have the resources to put extra protection around Romo. And remember, we paid Miles Austin, and we just now getting him off the books right now. And guess what? His hamstring snapped up on him. So when we pay guys, it just something happened. And then I don't even count for Tyron Crawfords of the worlds and Orlando Scandrick, because these guys, of course, they mediocre at best. So we didn't really pay them big money, but we did pay Tyron Crawford a lot of money. I'm gonna backpedal a little bit on that. But what did he do? I do know that everybody says that, okay, it's not 100% his fault. They moved him inside, they moved him outside, they moved him back inside. They was playing musical chairs with his skill set. There's something that sometimes a player have to step up and stand up and say, hey, okay, just like Shaquille O'Neal, he's a dominant player. But if you put him at point guard, if you put him at shooting guard, he is trash. So somehow, if Shaquille O'Neal say, hey guys, I'm a center. That's who I am. That's where I need to be at. I don't need to be trying to be the point guard of the team. I don't need to try to be the shooting guard. I need to be where I need to be at to help grow this team to win. And that's what Tyron Crawford is. He should have said, okay, I'm an inside guy. I need to have the ability to crash upfield, get inside, I need to be playing at least 20 pounds heavier. I understand that we need help on the edge, but I need to have this team. I would be better for the team playing into the inside. That's just how life should be. Shout out time, 901 Cowboys Mafia, cold name. Tapper will be cut. He making a declaration that Tapper will be cut. We'll see, because this year is everything. Let me jump over to the Facebook sides of the world. Scott Americo, I think that's how you say your last name. You are an NFL athlete. You should be able to make adjustments to other smaller or similar positions. He's talking about the Crawford situation. Look, we should be able to make adjustment. Yes, in a sense. But if your skills, he's a tweener. Well, that's what Tyron Crawford is. He's a tweener. He don't have the bend or the quickness or the burst to play off on the edge as defensive end. And he's slightly strong, quasi enough to play inside, but not the big. He's strong now. You look at Crawford, you look at him, you're saying, my God, this guy's big. But he don't have the size to play inside consistently. Unless he have his mindset together saying that, okay, for 16 weeks, I'm going to play just in this spot, and I'm going to elevate myself just in this spot. But that's a good question. Ty Davis, not a defensive tackle. I got clips, man. Just go to Law Nation's YouTube page, type in Tyron Crawford. You'll see him playing the 1 and the 3. He plays better into the inside using his leverage. He don't have the band to play on the outside. It's just not happening. He can get to the quarterback at times, but he just don't have the band to me, from what I see and what I evaluated. But you guys can feel free to go to the YouTube page, type in Tyron Crawford, and film session is all 22. You can mute me and just watch the film for yourself, and you'll see that, hey, he's always close, but just not there because he just don't have the band. And that's why we're getting so crazy about what a Randy Gregory can do. And we have we got so high expectations on a Dorrance Armstrong. And we feel very comfortable with a Coney Ely because these guys have natural bend out to the edge. Now this is another kicker too. How would the growth factor of Taco playing out there into the edge his second year? Will he be able to have a stronger base? Because we looked at Taco last year. His problem was he couldn't get his feet settled. He was getting knocked off the edge, and he just didn't have the weight and the shift in the bend too. So those are things that we have a big question mark on. We have a big reservations on as far as their skill set as it relates to defensive end. But hopefully these guys can step it up. Ty Davis, what else you saying? No, I meant Marinelli wants him to be a defensive end, not defensive tackle. Oh, my bad, guy. Yeah, so he was talking about Rob Marinelli. Rob Marinelli is a different type of cat. I do like Rob Marinelli as it relates to just the front four. I think that over the course of the years, he's been decent with the amount of tools that he have. But my only problem with Rob Marinelli, as you look back at Barry Church, I wish I could just snatch the interview and plug it right in right now. But this is the thing. Rob Marinelli loved, and I'm talking about Love. He loved to rotate his guys. He loved to push them, rotate them in and out of their positionings. And this is the problem. Those who played football before or played any type of sports, it's something about momentum. It's something about being out there, seeing what happened within the first quarter, second quarter, and then you saying to yourself, I know where he's going to shorten his route. I know what he's trying to do to set up. This is when I'm going to be able to jump this route. This is when I'm going to be able to pick off this ball or cause the fumble, because I saw this same play within the first quarter. But when you have a rotational piece, when it's not the front four, sometimes player cannot get adjusted to it, and then that's when you see blown coverages, like Jeff Heath at times taking wrong angles. We saw with J.J. Wilcox, but nothing can help J.J. Wilcox back in the days. But, you know, and that's what Barry Church was saying. When he went to the Jacksonville Jaguars, their defensive secondary was allowing them to stay in the game for longer periods of time, and he was able to beat on the ball, knew exactly when to make the adjustments, knew when to call Jalen Ramsey to come up a little bit closer, because with that positioning, you do play, quote-unquote, the quarterback of the defense at times. Either your safety or your middle or Mike linebacker does that. So, yeah, shout out to you, man, for that question. 5 group in the house, man. Shout out to you, too, as well. He says, I have no idea if they ban me. No, you still alive in the flesh, man. You right out here. Buck Buell, his career versus all of theirs. I don't know. Maybe you guys just put me back on the topic. Man, if I can't wait to see some football. Hashtag Dallas Cowboys. This is from Carlos Gracia. We all waiting for that pigskin to go get flying in the air. If you guys like me, man, we live football. Right now, I'm sweating football. That's what I feel like, man. Shout out to Jaron McCartney, 5 group. I don't know, man, what you said. Jeff Heath Pro Bowl year. Man, this could be Jeff Heath Pro Bowl year. And then, like I said before, don't discount if Earl Thomas get here. Does not mean that you just kick Jeff Heath to the curb. To me personally, although I was just talking about rotational guys, if you rotate that piece, Jeff Heath and Earl Thomas, it will be nice at that aspect. But neither here nor there. Let me just jump right back over to what I really think that D-Law his production should be this year. But this is the thing. I want you guys to go first. If possible, put down how many sacks will D-Law have this year. I want to give a consensus before I spit my mind. Put that down in the chat box. Let me know on the Facebook, on the Phantom page, EBSN, Silver and Blue, Big Game James page. Let me know how many sacks that you guys think or know that D-Law will have this year. We have 13. Ooh. What would be like that line, you know, of where you really, really, really want to say to yourself, it was decent, you know, but it wasn't last year production. I would say 7.5 sacks or 8.5 sacks. You will really say to yourself, that's not big money. In order for me to pay you big money, I got to know for sure that you're going to guarantee me at least 12 plus sacks a year coming off that edge. So Darren Price says 11.5. L Train 45 says 6 sacks. My God, what a drop off. 12.5 from Lance. Robert Owens, what's good? He's saying what's good. Shout out to you. Warpath. Man, that's a cold name right now. Warpath is one of the coldest names on YouTube right now. I'm going to jump over to Facebook world. Kerry says it's going to be 16 sacks. That will be remarkable. You're really going to have to reach into your pocket at that point. You really going to have to say, okay, D-Law, man, we gambled and we really going to have to pay you. What about a 5-year, $92 million, something like that? That's just going to happen if he gets 16 plus sacks. This is from Scott. On my Facebook, he said, I think Irving. He said he think Irving. Let me see what he's saying. Now, if Irving get 12 sacks, oh, my God. I think Irving will get back Gregory. We'll get back Randy Gregory, and the D guys. We're going to make some way for D-Law. Yeah, I could see that possibly happen. I can really see that possibly happen. This is the other thing too as well. Shout out to you, Scott. And Jamal Anderson, he's saying that not the Dirty Bird Jamal Anderson from my Facebook, but Jamal Anderson says 7.5 sacks. Now, if he gets 7.5 sacks and we win the Super Bowl, do you still pay D-Law? See, those are hard questions. See, Stephen Jones and Will McClay really going to have to do their homework. Either they're going to trust on the evaluation of Dorrance Armstrong, and one can say if Tapper somehow find his way on his team. And then on top of that, if you talk about Randy Gregory, if he can find his way back and being reinstated, because you know Roger Goodell like to play PC football, political football for those who don't know. They need to go ahead and reinstate Roger Goodell need to go ahead and reinstate Randy Gregory so we can actually see some football. I do not want this to prolong beyond training camp. Roger Goodell, bring back Randy Gregory so he can go through this training camp, so we can make our proper evaluation, so we can figure out what this team is going to look like from a defensive front four. We do know, I've been saying from this for a long time, that this front four is pretty much a finesse front four. So if you put into the fact that if D-Law gets 7.5 sacks, and then on top of that, if you get 7.5 or 8.5 or 9.5 from the other guys, somehow, some way, we're going to say to ourselves, collectively, we need him on this team. But if this happened, and this is what I feared that would happen, if we so happen to get 7.5 sacks and Randy Gregory get 2, and David Irvin gets 6 sacks, and Taco get 3, that's a horrible, I'm talking about a falling off the grace of the lords of the football gods face. If that happened, that's a horrible year for D-Law. D-Law, in order for him to get paid, either he get the 7.5 sacks and everybody else eat, or he get 12 plus, I maybe throw it a number, 13 minimum. 13 minimum sacks, then you can feel comfortable paying the guy $90 million, because you can't pay him $82 million. You can't, or unless you're just going to say, oh, I'll match you with Chandler Jones, and I don't think that they're going to do that. I think that his agency, his crew is going to say, the market has increased. I'm looking for $90 million. I'm looking for a $90 million contract. I'm about to say a year, but you know that's not possible. I'm looking for a $90 million contract, and it's going to be around 5 years. All right, so what else we have out here? Ryan Kirk, Randy coming out of the corn, coming out the corn this year. This is the thing with Randy Gregory, and I'm going to touch back on this topic right here with Roger Goodell's. You guys remember Josh Gordon, right? We remember he going through his reinstatement deal. He was going through his, I'm getting off the weed and I'm just really want to play just football. And he went through all of off season, all through training camp, not being able to play. And then on top of that, somehow, some way, Roger Goodell said, "Okay, I'm going to reinstate you. But however, it's going to be on my time, my watch. I'm going to squeeze you. I got you by the short hairs." If you guys know what I mean, I got you by the short hair, or I got you by the you know what. And every time you think about puffing that deal, I'm going to squeeze. And that is exactly what I'm thinking that Roger Goodell may do with Randy Gregory. He's going to squeeze him and say, okay. And he's really doing it to just get back at Jerry Jones. I'm going to squeeze you every time you think about making a statement, making a press conference, I'm squeezing. And right now, what Roger Goodell is doing to us right now, he got us by the, he got us. This is what Roger Goodell, he just juggling them right now. And every time anything happens, he squeezes those. And it's not fair for the Cowboys nation. We understand the whole temperament and the mindset of Roger Goodell. It's petty. Just like the NFL with the T.O. situation. They saying, okay, we're not even going to send you the Hall of Fame jacket, but we're still going to make your bust, and we're not going to give you any time. We're not even going to mention your name. But 50 years from now, they're going to look at those records, and they're going to say, hey, who is this guy that had all these touchdowns? Who was this guy that was scoring up and down? Who was this guy that wore number 81? He played for all these multiple teams. They're not going to know what type of mindset T.O. was, or had, or maybe it's just going to be so crazy 50 years from now. This is from 901 Cowboys Mafia, Q Mills. I agree. So I guess D-line rotation. This is from Q Mills. I guess he said this earlier. D-line rotational should be nasty this year. It should be, but it's finesse as all as get out. But we're going to move on to the next topic. I really appreciate everybody for talking, communicating with me via Facebook and the YouTube chat box. I call it the flame box at times. It was on fire today. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to read everybody's comments because I love you guys' feedbacks. I just love it. All right, so we're going to talk about the free agency, who we should go out and who we should take a look at and just ponder upon. And we should take a look at this list. Shout out to John Makota. I think that's how you say his name, Machota. He tweeted this out earlier. Free agents still available. As we look at this list here, we look at Robert Ayers, a good guy that he can help this defense out tremendously. Connor Ballrin, I think that he's a little long in the tooth. My favorites off of this list is a Trey Boston. And I think that his ability, I'm going to give you guys his quick 30-second, 20-second film breakdown. He's quick. He's one of those guys that he will hit you and you will feel it. He have a knack of being around the ball. I love the fact that he played with San Diego Superchargers and he was still able to play. And I also think he played with the Cardinals too as well. He has a defensive mind and he take good angles by far. I don't know how he's still out here. I'm thinking that maybe they do have a ruling as far as the veterans when you sign. When veterans get signed to your team, their salary is guaranteed for the entire year. But after week 1, that's when you can start plucking from this roster too, and you don't have to guarantee their contract for the entire. I'm talking about the entire year. So maybe after the second, third week of training camp, you're going to see some of the people that they thought that they had high from the undrafted free agencies and from the draft pick. You're going to see some teams actually cutting those guys, or those guys who just don't have the temperament to wake up early, come to practice on time, are lazy and stuff like that. Those guys are going to get cut, and then that's when most of this roster here that you see is going to get shaken up and broken down. Navarro Bowman, he's one of my favorites too. Shout out to Ron Smith, man. Hey, I give you a shout out, bruh. Shout out to you. L Train, shout out to you too as well. He says Kenny Vaccaro is a little old, but he could help. I'm going to get to Kenny Vaccaro in a few, but I do like Navarro Bowman. I think that wisdom and understanding and being able to have knowledge of the game. I always tell people playing the middle linebacker. He's one hell of an insurance pull-up. I do know he's long in the tooth, but this guy, he can telegraph. If you like Sean Lee, you will like Navarro Bowman. If you love Sean Lee, you will love Navarro Bowman. They're one and the two interchangeable. They are the guys. It's like cerebral. They can be everywhere with the ball. They can help out young defensive guys. And then they can also teach people. I hope, I do know that somebody going to say that these guys stay injured, but they can also teach people the craft of playing in the National Football League. I'm going to pass on from Dez Bryant. I'm going to pass on from Brian Cushing. I like Eric Decker in a sense, but I'm going to pass on from him. Antonio Gates. If you like Jason Witten, you will like Antonio Gates. And especially if you want to, if he's willing to play. I don't know if he's willing to still play football. But if you like Rico Gathers, oh, what a gem this would be for Rico. Antonio Gates would be like a wealth source of information for Rico Gathers. Similar traits, basketball background. I think that would elevate everything for this team. And you guys know one of my favorites on this list. I thought he was already picking up. I thought he was already taken on a team already. You guys know I'm about to say this, right? Let me go ahead and get nasty. Take my collar off. Jonathan Hankins. That big boy you can put right up there, and he's wide. You're talking about somebody that's going to push that pocket back, right? Create pressure in the middle. The quarterback is not able to get comfortable, get all nice in the middle of the field. That Jonathan Hankins, he's still on this list. He will be nice, nasty for this team. And then I'll just sit back and say, okay, when Malik Collins' foot is cleared to play, we have a nice 1-2 punch. Jihad Ward, you can throw him in the mix. Hey, he'd be better than any Asher that we have on our team. Maybe he's pretty much better than a Brian Price. You're talking about Jonathan Hankins, a big body plug. I'm going to skip on from Colin Kaepernick. I'm about to say Colin Cowherd, but Colin Kaepernick, he's cool. He's cool. But, Dallas Cowboys, they won't look at that aspect of the team. We understand that. We understood what's going on with Colin Kaepernick. They're not going to go that way. Of course, we have the white kid, and we also have the Cooper Rush that they really want to evaluate too as well. So if we look at next on that list, Jeremy Maclin. You like route runners, you like guys who can run those intermediate short routes. He's right there, Jeremy Maclin. You may have a big placeholder on the fact that he can't stay healthy, but he's a veteran receiver that can teach the young guys something. I mean, at a pinch, you can go out there and get him. I think you can get him every day they're out there on the opening market. That price tag goes down, 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 down. Adrian Peterson, he's on this list. The running backfield is already crowded, right? But if you just bring in Adrian Peterson, you're talking about immediately a guy that's going to run behind this offensive line, somebody who's going to threat the opposition, saying that, okay, regardless of whether or not he's old, I think what Adrian Peterson can do for this team is what Chris Johnson did, slightly similar to what the Arizona Cardinals when they picked him up. When everybody thought that he was washed up and gone and not able to play, we saw some flashes through Chris Johnson when he was picked up. Now, to me, you put Adrian Peterson behind his line, I do know that he's long in the tooth. It will be nice. It will be nice. We'll see how the rigorous training camp offseason go to play in the next 2 weeks. Whether or not Bo Scarborough can stay healthy. Whether or not my guy Rod Smith is showing improvement. Because the thing that Rod Smith got over Adrian Peterson is that he don't fumble the ball as much and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. You will be handicapped into a degree because Adrian Peterson do not, and I'm going to repeat, do not catch the ball out of the backfield. But one thing Adrian Peterson can do, he's one hell of a blocker. He's very underrated as it relates to blocking. Now, my guy, Eric Reed, I think that Eric Reed will be fantastic for this team. He got Pro Bowl caliber, Pro Bowl skills out of the safety that's left out here. To me, he's above Trey Boston and he's above Kenny Vaccaro of Kenny V. He's above those guys. And then we talking about the Raji Kamari kid. Man, you got you a guy that you can really put out there and say, okay, you can put him to the inside. But I would rather for our younger guys within the slot like the Xavier Woods and Anthony Brown, believe it or not. Julius Thomas. Is he really nasty with it? I don't know. But if you bring in Julius Thomas, maybe he can have a reclaim to fame. He have a better offensive weaponry as far as the offensive line. Although he's a short intermediate tight end who can run in line, not the greatest blocker in the world, but he have the size, he have the the skill set that you can say maybe I can say this right. Maybe he can challenge Rico Gathers just a little bit. But neither here nor there. That would be guys that we can still look at as far as free agency. Stone Cold Crazy, not Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okoye Media, I'll take him in a heartbeat. And it will never happen because he is kneeling BS. You know, he talking about he's kneeling. I guess he was speaking to my guy Okoye. Shout out to Okoye. Okoye Media is in the mix. We will be live like 95 tomorrow at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Me, Okoye. I'm going to try to get my guy Dallas Cowboys scouting in the mix too as well. We're going to really be talking about just the off-season talk, what our predictions going to be throughout the season, and what we have in store for you guys down the line. So let me know. 5 groups said no AP in Dallas. He's saying he's out on Adrian Peterson. Out of this list, guys, put down in the comment section or on the Facebook side or Phantom, wherever you guys may be watching EBSN online, put down who would you rather for the Cowboys to go out and get. Even if it is your boy, Dez Bryant, put that down. Put reasons why. Just don't put a name so I can really look at it. And hopefully, once you guys put down the people that you collectively, whoever put down the name that's most common, I would try to do a quick film session on the good, the bad, and the ugly. Me, and I'm going to try to push it over to my guy, not force it over to it, but push it over to my guy, Collier, too, so we can get a consensus of what this guy can do for the team, what he can be better at, and what can he just be pretty much a stopgap to the younger guys, or will he benefit the younger guys? So put that down. I love to hear you guys' feedback and things like that. So with that being said, I'm going to go just rehash what I just talked about today. We talked about D-Law, the $17.5 million that he's going to get with the franchise tag. In order for him to make the big money, I said that he have to get 13 or plus sacks, maybe 12, maybe. Or if he gets 7.5 sacks and everybody eat, I'm talking about everybody on that line eat. I'm talking about like the Malik Collins, not D-Law, but Dorrance Armstrong, the Tacos of the world. If everybody get around 7 and 8 sacks, I'm talking about everybody, and it was like a sacks by committee type of deal, then you probably have to go out and just pay the man, because now you're saying, okay, it's even, Steven, but 90 million, 5 years, man. I'm just so glad that we have a new philosophy where we trust you, but we want to verify those results with one more year, prove it year. Peterson is injury prone. This is from Ryan Kirk. Internal thought, man. That's one of the, man, I'm telling you, man, these names on YouTube, man, it's just cold, man. It's cold blooded, boy. I love those YouTube names, man. I appreciate it. That's a cold name, Internal Thought. And let me see what you said. Peterson is a wash, basically. I don't know, man. The resurgence, man, of Adrian Peterson means and speaks volumes, guys. Just give it time, and then we can sit back and say, okay, behind his offensive line, man. Remember Marcus Allen? People counted him out. I'm jogging you guys' memory, and remember, I want to say Curtis. What's Curtis' first name? Played for the Jets. He stepped it up, man. Old, reliable type of Bill Parcells guy. So don't count these guys out, man. Sometimes it just depends on the team that you go to that can show things that can happen better for you. So with that being said, guys, that's really all the time I have today. Don't forget to like this page. Love the content. Share the content. If you want to Hawk Rage Cowboys, smash the like button. That will be a plus. After you like the page and subscribe to the page, you can become part of the notification squad. I don't have a set time. I try to come live every day, go online live every day around this time. But I really appreciate all the support. I really appreciate you guys' different contrasts of views and opinion. I respect everybody's opinion. I do know that we're kind of like a family. We don't agree on everything, on every topic. That's what make us wonderful. That's what make us unique. You guys educate me on things. I try to educate you guys on things too as well. I'm not always 100% right. And no one want to say that you are 100% right, because you just don't want to be that guy, right? You want to be able to take the constructive criticism and never take anything personal, because that's what life is all about. Learning how to improve, how to become better, and just how it is. Life, man, is life. You learn, you live, and you grow. I'm going to have to use that as a slogan. Learn, live, and grow. And that's what we do. We try to grow this nation. That's why I'm calling it the nation, Law Nation. But it's not about the law. It's bigger than that. Silver and blue nation, guys. That's why most of us are here, so that we can talk about the team that we just don't like. We love this team, right? And we're willing to, although you guys disagree with me, but if it's an Eagles guy, you guys will be in here even more talking about, hey, that Eagles guy, we're going to get him out of here. But don't forget to support the other pages too as well. Support the PayPal, support the Patreon. This is just like my closing. You know how the preachers be saying, hey, don't forget to make the donation to help grow the nation. I'm passing the collection plate around. But don't forget to like the Phantom pages, subscribe to them, subscribe to EBSN online, subscribe to the Dallas Prospect. Every legend was once a prospect. The Silver and Blue Nation and Big Game James. That's all the time I have for today. I really thank you for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. Let's jam out, baby. Yeah. Let's jam on out to this thing. If I can find that button. There you go.